Po sa inyong lahat. As I have said in our introduction, today we celebrate the memorial of Saint Blaise, Armenian bishop and martyr, at the same time physician. It's good that in his feast day today, we heard in the gospel two miracles of Jesus that tell us about the experience of faith of two very different people, Jairus and a sick woman. We can also add the story of a mother whose faith also, through the intercession of Saint Blaise, cured her son of illness sa kanyang throat. Kaya punong-puno tayo ng kwento ngayong araw at inspirasyon ng pagpapagaling at pagpapala. My dear brothers and sisters, their stories make us perceive Jesus as the loving and compassionate God who sets his eyes on those who suffer exclusion in society. Jairus is rejected by Jesus' followers for being the head of the synagogue. The sick woman for being a woman and for being a sick. And Saint Blaise for professing his faith and his skill of curing and intervening sick people, even wild animals. The first key word for understanding Jesus' encounter with Jairus and the sick woman is touching. Jairus asked Jesus to touch his child with his hands. The hemorrhaging woman seeks to touch Jesus. So, my dear brothers and sisters, touching symbolizes the loving and committed closeness of God to the outcast, the excluded, and the rejected. He sends a message that God cares for them and loves them and that they are not alone. The second word, so that we could understand Jesus' healing, is not only touching, but risking. Risking is the second key word in today's gospel. Faith in Jesus demands taking risks on our part. The head of the synagogue risked his future because he might appear as a traitor to his group that opposes Jesus. The sick woman risked to be lapidated for touching a man and for contaminating him with her impurity. Saint Blaise also risked his life curing people until the end of his life, being beheaded. However, on both situations, Jesus imposes himself as a giver of life. My dear brothers and sisters, we must follow the example of Jairus, Saint Blaise, and the sick woman who seek to touch Jesus. That is, they seek to let themselves be touched by the love and mercy of God. And to achieve this, and following their example, we must be willing to put to test our faith. That is, to risk everything in order to experience the love and mercy of God in our life.